abuse in intimate relationships is about power and control.
Yes.
So when a man abdicates all responsibility for the money, he's in the position of power because he's the boss who criticizes the worker who's responsible for everything. But the flip side is also true. They hand over all the money to the men. The man has the control of the money and decides what's done, and the woman doesn't have any spending money of her own, or that women are given allowances for the groceries, but it's a completely unrealistic allowance, and then they get in trouble. In abusive relationships where women need to leave, part of keeping them in the relationship is that they have no access to money. Even when they have a job, the direct deposit now for their pay will go into the account over which the husband has entire control.
So, what would your advice be to women who are in those relationships? What can they do?
This is a feature of abuse in heterosexual relationships, especially intimate relationship abuse. Part of the tactic and the net impact of that is to disempower you and to make you feel hopeless, to make you believe you're stupid, incompetent, incapable, couldn't survive without the person. Because as women, like, let's say you're working at a bank and you're a VP at a bank, but all your money goes to your husband and he's the
Right.
controller of everything. How do you tell anybody? So he's created the conditions under which you're too ashamed to say anything to get help to get out. So first of all, I just want to say, to validate the listener who's struggling to leave, on average, it takes 7 years for a woman to get out. And that's because the whole purpose of the abuse and the situation is to keep you from leaving. And you're struggling against a structure that's intended to keep you in. What I would recommend, first and foremost, is to find someone in whom you can confide. Another little thing you can do is have a secret stash, right? And start building up your secret stash. My husband's mother, that's
Yeah.
what she did. She finally managed to get a little job, and it took her years to save enough money to get a deposit for an apartment, but she did it.